Deep in the heartland, nestled amidst expansive fields and swaying crops, stood an abandoned farm. The stories whispered by locals were filled with chilling tales of unexplained disappearances and dark deeds. But curiosity was an insidious force, and it beckoned to young couples searching for adventure. Such was the case for Lily and Mark, a couple in their early 20s, who embarked on a fateful journey to explore the dilapidated ruins of this farm. As they approached the rusty gates, an eerie silence enveloped the air. Weeds entwined the creaking fence, giving the impression that nature had claimed this forsaken place. The farm itself appeared frozen in time. Crumbling walls and shattered windows bore witness to the passage of years. Undeterred by the ominous aura, Lily and Mark pushed open the decaying front door, their eyes adjusting to the gloom within. A musty smell clung to the air, as if the very essence of abandonment permeated the space. The couple shivered slightly, their anticipation tinged with apprehension. Their footsteps echoed through the empty farmhouse, each creaking floorboard adding to the cacophony of unease. They explored the dimly lit rooms, the flickering beams of their flashlights painting shadows that seemed to dance along the peeling wallpaper. A pervading sense of being watched began to suffocate their curiosity. In the darkest corner of an antiquated bedroom, Mark's flashlight beam caught something horrifying, a photograph. Frozen in time, it depicted a man with a twisted, deformed visage, his deranged eyes seeming to follow their every move. The couple exchanged anxious glances, their initial excitement turning into a gnawing fear. Before they could retreat, a blood-curdling scream sliced through the air. Their hearts palpitated as they hurriedly fled the room, instinct screaming at them to escape the clutches of peril. But the old floorboards betrayed their presence, creaking beneath their weight like a foreboding alarm. Down narrow hallways they raced, their breaths ragged and their minds racing. Behind them, blades of grass grew wild through the cracks in the wooden floor, a bizarre testament to the farm's silent wrath. With each step, the presence of the deformed man lurched closer, his heavy footsteps and raspy breath hot on their heels. Hyperventilating, they crashed into an overgrown backyard, their bodies colliding with an iron fence that encircled the property. Desperation spread through their veins as they frantically searched for an exit. The stark realization washed over them. It was a trap, a ruse set up by the deranged farmer who once ruled this forsaken land. And then they saw him, the twisted figure of a man, his deformed features contorted into a smile that defied reason. In his hands, a chainsaw gleamed ominously, the metal teeth whispering their intent for gruesome destruction. The glint of madness danced in his eyes, as if he derived perverse pleasure from the hunt. Adrenaline surged through their veins as they sprinted toward the neighboring fields, their lungs burning with each desperate breath. The towering cornfield swayed around them, creating a labyrinth of uncertainty. But the relentless revving of the chainsaw pushed them onward, their minds teetering on the edge of sanity. The chase continued relentlessly, the deranged farmer displaying uncanny endurance in his pursuit. His distorted laughter echoed through the night, a chilling soundtrack that fueled their terror. With every fleeting glance over their shoulders, they caught glimpses of his nightmare-inducing figure, his mangled form almost bestial in nature. Through the moonlit haze, they stumbled upon a dilapidated barn, its doors ajar, offering temporary sanctuary. Their trembling hands fumbled to lock the entrance, desperation fueling their rapid movements. Inside, shadows danced on the walls as the farmer circled, his laughter bouncing off the dilapidated beams. In this desperate refuge, the couple clung to each other, trembling with fear and grappling with their dwindling hope. The air became stagnant and heavy, as if the darkness itself had taken corporeal form. Whispers of fate flickered around them, the sinister presence emanating from the very walls. And then, silence fell like a shroud. The sound of footsteps ceased, giving way to a spine-tingling stillness. Holding their breath, they exchanged a wary glance, questioning whether the nightmare had come to an end. But as they ventured out of their sanctuary, they were met with a sight that would haunt their nightmares forever. An empty barn devoid of the deranged man, days turned into weeks and weeks into years, yet the memory of that harrowing night refused to fade. The farm, still standing in silent desolation, served as a chilling reminder of the malevolent force that lurked within. Never again would they venture into the unknown without caution, for their encounter with the deranged man with the chainsaw had forever etched fear into